GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Good evening, Montreal. Tonight we'll look at why the Mount Royal Cross is being darkened for repairs, a quick look at tonight's clear skies and comfortable 24 degrees with a gentle breeze, and a note on Brendan Gallagher's departure and his new Stanley Cup chase. Over to you, Emma.
The Professional Women's Hockey League announced its Phase 1 protection lists today, outlining which current players each franchise can retain for the upcoming expansion draft.
Montreal's current PWHL squad appears on several teams' protection lists, indicating the league's intent to preserve core talent as the franchise expands.
Each franchise may protect up to 5 skaters and 2 goaltenders, a rule set by the league to balance competitiveness while allowing new clubs to acquire talent.
All right, let's get into it. More details on the PWHL protection lists, including team strategies and upcoming draft dates, will follow in tonight's news segment. We're moving on to the top stories of the day, starting with a major development in the city's downtown area. A significant project is set to begin on Mount Royal, one that will impact the city's skyline for over a year. The illuminated cross, iconic landmark, will be switched off starting this autumn as the city undertakes major repairs to its steel structure and electrical systems. The work, contracted to Concreate Constructions Limited, for $3.7 million, is aimed at ensuring the safety and preservation of the cross. The city's executive committee approved the project on June 3rd, citing the need to protect this beloved symbol of the city. The repairs will be a lengthy process, but the end result will be a restored and secure cross, ready to be reilluminated for all to enjoy. The darkened cross will be a notable change to the city's landscape, but a necessary one to safeguard its integrity.
A technical issue brought the REM train network to a standstill this morning, causing significant disruptions for commuters. According to Pulsar, the operator of the REM, the problem was related to condensation or a lubrication issue, which raised safety concerns for the rail system. The fault was detected early, prompting a temporary halt to service as a precautionary measure. As a result, commuters experienced delays throughout the morning. Fortunately, service was restored later in the day, but the incident highlights the importance of addressing technical issues promptly to ensure the safety and reliability of the system. An investigation into the cause of the problem is likely to follow, and commuters will be hoping for a smoother ride in the days ahead. The incident has raised concerns about the overall maintenance of the REM network.
A call to action from the Parti Liberal du Québec, as the party urges the federal government to provide critical funding to alleviate the city's public transportation backlog. On June 3rd, the PLQ stressed the need for new transfers to address delays on the Blue Line and tramway projects, which have been stalled for far too long. The plea comes on the heels of the city's executive committee highlighting a significant funding gap, which has resulted in lengthy postponements. The situation has left the city's transit expansion at a standstill, causing frustration for commuters. The PLQ is pushing for a swift response from the federal government to get these essential projects back on track and to bring much-needed relief to the city's transportation system.
Good news for commuters this morning. Train frequencies and schedules on the REM network have been restored to regular operation. A technical issue had caused a disruption earlier, but it's been resolved, and service is now back to normal. This means riders can resume their usual commute on the light trail system, making it easier to get around the city. The SDM and REM teams work to resolve the issue as quickly as possible, and it's all systems go once again. If you were affected by the earlier glitch, you should be able to plan your day as usual now. The REM network is a vital part of our transit system, and it's great to see things running smoothly again, just in time for the morning rush.
A new plan is in the works to make streets safer for kids in Rosemont La Petite Patrie. The Borough Council, led by Mayor François Limoges, announced on June 3rd a road reconfiguration project to reduce car traffic near elementary schools. The goal is to secure these areas within 3 years, making it easier for children to walk or bike to school. This initiative is part of the city's broader traffic calming strategy, aiming to encourage active transportation and create a healthier environment for young people. By reducing automobile volume, the community hopes to improve safety and promote a more sustainable way of getting to school. It's a positive step forward for families in the area and a great example of community-led efforts to create a better quality of life. We'll explore how new grocery policies strain Montreal food banks, then preview tonight's clear skies. We will be right back. Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news. Welcome back to the local sunset. We're coming to you live. Let's dive into local stories now with our reporter.
A significant challenge is emerging for local families in need as Montreal, a major food bank, is experiencing a decrease in food donations. As of June 3rd, reduced deliveries of near-expiry food have lowered the supply available to the charity. This change is a result of new retailer practices that limit the amount of close-to-expiration stock they can donate. The impact is being felt deeply, with Montreal warning of growing gaps in its ability to feed vulnerable families. This shift in grocery policies is straining the food bank's resources, leaving many to wonder how they will meet the demand for assistance. The situation is dire, and it remains to be seen how the community will respond to this growing need. Many families rely on these services, and the effects are already being felt.
As heavy rainfall continues to pose a threat to local homes, the city is taking steps to support residents affected by flooding. On June 2nd, an additional $2 million was allocated to the Rain-O-Plex program, which provides aid for flood damage repairs. This boost in funding will expand eligibility and speed up reimbursement for those impacted by flooding. The move comes as increasing rain events have raised the risk of residential flooding, leaving many residents vulnerable. With this added support, more homeowners will be able to access the help they need to repair and protect their properties from future flood damage. The increased funding is a significant development for residents who have been coping with the aftermath of flooding.
2 highly anticipated concerts have been removed from the calendar, leaving many fans disappointed. The shows, which were set to take place on June 2nd, were canceled by concert promoters. This decision comes after a similar cancellation in Quebec City. Fans of the artist were notified through official channels, providing them with information on the canceled events. The news has significant implications for local music lovers who were looking forward to the performances. The cancellation of these shows is likely to be felt by many in the community, particularly those who had already made plans to attend. Concert promoters have taken this step, and fans will have to wait for further updates on potential rescheduling or refunds.
A major infrastructure project is set to transform the way the city manages storm water in the downtown area. The city has announced plans to build a large underground reservoir near St. Jacques, which will capture storm water and reduce street flooding. This $70 million investment is a significant step forward in addressing the repeated flooding that has plagued the city center during recent heavy rains. The project is slated for completion within 2 years, and its impact will be felt by residents and commuters who have grown accustomed to navigating flooded streets after intense downpours. The new basin will help to mitigate this issue, bringing much-needed relief to the area. Construction is expected to get underway soon, marking a new era in the city's approach to storm water management.
Quebec immigration authorities are set to abolish the PEQ program on June 2nd, leaving many international students at the École Nationale du Cirque without a guaranteed pathway to residency after graduation. This policy change removes a fast-track option for non-Quebec-born students, causing uncertainty for the school's foreign students. The school will have to issue diplomas without assurance that these students will be able to stay in Quebec. This development has significant implications for the École Nationale du Cirque, as it will no longer be able to offer students a clear route to remain in the province after completing their studies. The abolition of the PEQ program will undoubtedly affect the lives of many international students who have come to Quebec to pursue their education and build their careers.
Now let's turn to our meteorologist for a look at tonight's clear skies and comfortable temperature.
We're moving on to our top stories now, starting with a major development in the city. A significant ruling has been handed down by the Tribunal Administratif du Logement, ordering a landlord to pay $160,000 to 2 tenants who were evicted from a Montreal rental property. The decision comes after a 5-year legal battle, during which the tenants alleged they were victims of a deceptive scheme to remove them from the premises. The tribunal's ruling, issued on June 3rd, underscores the severity of the landlord's actions and provides a measure of justice for the affected.
As we head into the evening, starting from 6 o'clock, we're enjoying clear skies and a comfortable 24 degrees Celsius, with a gentle breeze blowing at 14 kilometers per hour. As the sun sets around 8:37 tonight, we can expect more of the same, with temperatures staying pleasant and a UV index of 7, so be sure to grab a hat or some sunscreen if you're planning on being outside. The wind will pick up slightly, coming from the southwest, but it shouldn't be too much of a concern, and we're not expecting any precipitation. Looking ahead to the next 5 days, we've got a bit of a mixed bag. Tomorrow will be mostly overcast, with highs around 29 degrees Celsius, and then we'll see more of the same on Friday, with temperatures dipping slightly to 28 degrees Celsius. The weekend is looking a bit more unsettled, with a chance of light rain on Saturday and a high of 24 degrees Celsius, while Sunday will be clear and cooler, with a high of 21 degrees Celsius. By Monday, we're expecting mainly clear skies again, with a high of 24 degrees Celsius, making for a pleasant start to the week.
Up next, traffic's moving smoothly despite construction. We'll preview tonight's live jazz on Terrace and the Canadiens' season finale. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news. Major construction continues to shape the afternoon commute. The biggest impact right now is on Rue Saint-Urbain, where bridge work over Route 136, also known as Autoroute Ville-Marie, is causing a major hindrance. Expect lane reductions and a slow-moving queue, especially near the downtown core. A secondary bottleneck sits on Boulevard Lacordaire, where bridge repairs over Autoroute 40 are creating minor delays. Traffic moves at a reduced pace but remains fluid. Drivers heading east should also note that the Louis-Hippolyte Lafontaine tunnel has a lowered height clearance, so high-profile vehicles must seek alternate routes. Finally, access to Rue Hickmore is experiencing a major hindrance, with only one lane open and a short backup at the intersection. Aside from these sites, the rest of the network is clear, and no transit lines are reporting issues. Expect the situation to hold steady through the evening, with traffic easing after rush hour.
5 Seconds of Summer lights up Centerbell tonight, the final stop of their Everyone's a Star world tour, delivering pop rock anthems for a crowd that's been waiting all summer. If you crave a more intimate sound, Mercredi Live Jazz rolls onto the terrace of Le Balcon this evening, where James Correa's sax will turn the rooftop into a late-night lounge. Comedy lovers can catch the Comedy Lab at the Comedy Nest, a quick-fire lineup that promises fresh local jokes to break up the week. Looking ahead, tomorrow night Le Dome hosts a Pink Floyd tribute, and Friday night the Montreal Alliance faces the Winnipeg Sea Bears at the Auditorium de Verdun, two must-see events that will keep the city buzzing through the weekend. The Floyd show revisits a classic album start to finish, while the basketball clash could decide a playoff seed. And now here's Jason with sports.
Hockey headlines shaping the offseason. Here's what's moving tonight. An end of an era in Montreal. Brendan Gallagher's tenure with the Canadiens is over, and according to Sportsnet, his final months were described as painful. But Gallagher isn't done. He says he has plenty more to give as his pursuit of the Stanley Cup continues with a new team. The PWHL's expansion process is underway. Sportsnet reports the league announced protection lists for Phase 1 today, Wednesday, June 3rd. The move is a key step in shaping rosters ahead of expansion, with potential implications for established clubs already in the league. A growing conversation around pay in women's hockey. CBC Sports reports the PWHL Players Union published member salaries this week, revealing the minimum wage on Hamilton's AHL team is $27,000 more than that of the city's new PWHL club, fueling debate about compensation gaps between leagues.
Parquet, nestled in the heart of Milan, has been a staple in the community, serving as a beloved queer cafe where friends and family gather. The cafe is facing a challenging time as a dispute with the city over its alcohol permit threatens its very existence. This potential loss is felt deeply by locals, who have come to rely on Parquet as a safe and welcoming space. For years, the cafe has been a vibrant part of the neighborhood, hosting countless events and fostering a sense of belonging among its patrons. This cafe matters to Montreal because it represents a haven of acceptance and inclusivity, making its possible closure a devastating prospect for the community. Stay tuned for Montreal's terraces and the NBA Finals fan experience June 5 to 8. You won't want to miss it. Coming up tonight at 6, the local sunset. Your neighborhood, your city, your news. From city hall decisions to the stories happening right on your street, we cover what matters most to Montrealers. Join us tonight at 6 p.m. on gmna for the local sunset, Montreal's evening newscast. Across Montreal's neighborhoods, from the vibrant Plateau to the historic Old Port, the city comes alive on warm summer evenings. As the sun sets, locals and visitors alike flock to their favorite terrace, where the sounds of laughter and conversation fill the air. On a picturesque corner in the plateau, the smell of freshly brewed coffee and citrusy cocktails wafts from a cozy outdoor cafe, where patrons sip and savor the view of the surrounding rooftops. At a rooftop bar in Old Port, the stunning skyline stretches out before you, a breathtaking backdrop for a refreshing summer drink. As the stars begin to twinkle, strangers become friends over a cold drink and a shared appreciation for the beauty of Montreal, reminding us that sometimes the simplest moments are the most beautiful. In a city that knows how to unwind, every evening can feel like a celebration of community and connection.
In the heart of Montreal, a unique energy is taking over downtown, as the city transforms into a giant basketball playground from June 5th to 8th. At the Old Port and Place des Arts, among other venues, thousands of fans will gather to experience the thrill of the NBA Finals. Imagine walking along the cobblestone streets of the Old Port, the sound of bouncing balls and cheering crowds filling the air, as interactive games and pop-up courts bring the action to life. Fans of all ages will have the chance to meet their favorite players, and with a city-wide celebration that's all about community, the excitement is palpable. As Montrealers come together to share in the joy of the game, it's a reminder that sometimes the best way to experience something big is to come together with the people around you. Community is what makes a city feel like home.
Thank you, Montreal, for watching today. We highlighted several key stories, including Montreal's efforts to build a $70 million underground water basin downtown. We'll be back with more news tomorrow, and don't forget to join us then for continuing coverage of the stories that matter to you.